Yo, what up? I'm T, and this is Let's Talk About It, where we discuss news, music, and sports. Chances are, if it's happening out there, we talking about it here. Let's get it. Okay, so Chriseanrock, before they were famous, Blueface Insane Girlfriend is what we're going to be watching today. I really don't know much about this chick except that she's Blueface's girlfriend. She gets a lot of bad rep. Like, a lot of people talk about her a lot. And I always see videos of her hauling off and hitting him, but I never see what he does to antagonize that. I can tell in interviews that he does not respect her at all. I can tell in interviews that she's always ready to pop off. Blueface, I'm not saying Blueface is a bad dude or anything like that, and I'm not trying to take her side or anything. I'm just calling it how I see it and what I see. Or he could just be a dude that's tired of getting beat up on and feels like he can't get out. I mean, it's possible for men to be in relationships that they can't get out of. It's very possible to be in a relationship, for a guy to be in a relationship and feel like there's just no way out. So he could be one of those type of people. And, I'm just interested to see who she was before this, before all the alcohol and everything else. So without further ado, let's get into this. Chriseanrock, before they were famous, Blueface's Insane Girlfriend. Let's get it.
Clyde Smith, baby. No, don't use don't. Please, don't. Let's get into it. I know. I'm setting myself up. It's crazy. I dug my own hole. Dug my own grave, sorry. Jeez, look at me being self-incriminating. In a lot of ways, Chriseanrock has always been on the run. Early on in her life, she was a track and field star for Santa Monica College. But even long before that, she had to learn how to think quickly on her feet. Growing up in a family of a dozen siblings with one parent incarcerated and another struggling to remain sober, Chrisean needed to make herself as strong as possible to survive. But surprisingly, it wasn't her athletic abilities that would one day provide her with fame. Instead, it was her association with the rapper Blueface and their seemingly on and off again relationship. Now, Chrisean is probably best known as a social media influencer and aspiring singer who keeps herself in the headlines thanks to some truly befuddling and at times downright scary antics involving her well-known other half. It truly is unfortunate because, man, look at that explosiveness. Look at those lateral movements. Look at her go. It's giving D1 athlete, as the girls on TikTok would say. I mean, this woman could have been a generational Olympian. It's crazy. Instead, she's fighting Blueface in a parking lot. This girl could have been Shikari, but better. I don't know. What led Chrisean to where she is today, and what's her official relationship status with Blueface? You'll find out that and a whole bunch more on our newest episode of Before They Were Famous. But before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to find out the moment that we drop new content. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Chriseanrock was born Chrisean Malone on March 14th, 2000 in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. She was raised in a massive family, which she was the 11th born sibling in a family of 12 kids. And as you might imagine, with a family that large, things were far from easy for Chrisean growing up. For one thing, her family moved throughout several neighborhoods.
I come from a family of 5 boys and 2 girls, man. And let me tell you, there's always something getting broke, always something getting stolen. Not so much stolen as just borrowed. It's always something, man. You always get blamed for stuff that you didn't do. It's always something, man. But the camaraderie as you grow up with those siblings I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, man. I love all of my brothers and sisters.
Neighborhoods when she was a child as a result of her father never being around, thanks to the fact that he was serving a prison sentence for much of her early life. In fact, Chrisean never even met her dad until she was 7 years old.
Damn!
I met him when I was 7 because he came home. He was locked up for I don't know how long. I went through abuse, so getting either choked out or beat on.
Meanwhile, Chrisean's mother struggled with drug addiction, which made it difficult for her to be a consistent presence in any of her children's lives. On top of all these hardships, Chrisean also had to deal with being the victim of abuse. During an interview with Fox News where she was being profiled as a student athlete, she detailed how she was choked and beaten while just a small child. At the age of 9, things took another step in the wrong direction when Chrisean became homeless. Needing a place to sleep, she'd often wind up staying with friends and extended family members for days at a time, before inevitably having to move on and stay somewhere else. Thankfully, during this most difficult time in her life, the support from friends, coaches, and her school kept her going. Chrisean's impressive athletic ability would be the one saving grace of her childhood, and her talents as a track star would see her through high school and all the way to a scholarship at Santa Monica College in California, which she joined in 2018,
She was like
which,
the
if I'm not
female
mistaken,
Flash.
is the year that Tatiana came out. In fact, not only was Chrisean an impressive collegiate athlete, she even managed to parlay that skill into an appearance on Fox's Ultimate Tag, which she walked away with the $10,000 prize money.
It's been an historic night. Congratulations to Sean.
Blueface probably saw it in. He probably saw it in. Look at her, man. I mean, she does look a little crazy then too, but I mean, look at her though. I don't know. Come on, let's finish watching this.
Sonny and Thomas, tonight's champions.
Beat 'em.
I mean, even back then, she was showing signs of being a generational athlete. Like, this girl could have been the next Shelly Ann or Sha'Carri or Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Instead, Blueface had to meet her. Like, why? Why did Blueface have to happen to this girl, bro? She could have been the next Simone Biles. Now she's...
See, there's so many people that blame Blueface though. Her problems were already there. I think that had she not met Blueface, that still was gonna come out, regardless of who she was with. It's just, it all depends on the person she was with when it came out. So she could have been with somebody who was more nurturing and loving and more, hey, let's get you some help and try to figure this out, instead of let's get you some fucking weed and some goddamn liquor and let's party this shit out and then act a fucking fool about it because I'm a millionaire and I can buy you anything or do anything you want to do. And yeah, so it was just it was a recipe for disaster. But I feel like you can't put that all on Blueface, man. Who she is who she was going to turn out to be regardless. It's about how once she met that other side of her, how was the person that she was with was going to handle that. So it's like I feel like she dealt with a lot of abandonment issues. She dealt with a lot of self-esteem issues. She dealt with a lot of PTSD from people putting their hands on her. They beat her when she was young. So, you know, I just feel like that part of her was going to always come out. But how it was handled and who she was with when it came out, I think that's what kind of took the turn for her. But you can't put that all on Blueface. Who she is who she was going to be regardless, I think.
She's the next Tiffany Pollard? I don't know. Is that Chrisean's ceiling? I think she could be better than that. No disrespect to Tiffany Pollard. Around that same age as a teenager, Chrisean also began to dabble in social media, not knowing at the time that it would wind up to play a much heavier presence in her life than her athletics ever would. Chrisean created her official Instagram account at the age of 15 in December of 2015. A few years later, she'd start her own YouTube channel where she originally offered a few makeup tutorials and provided her audience with a taste of her athletic ability.
I don't know what to say. Like, it's been a minute.
But after graduating from Santa Monica in 2020, in the midst of the worldwide pandemic, Chrisean's life took a drastic turn away from athletics and towards online infamy when she became a member of Blueface's Blue Girls Club, a reality series that the rapper promoted across social media platforms like YouTube and OnlyFans.
So why are you talking to me? Stop talking to me. Then she like, I can get you removed. I don't give a fuck. I will slap this shit before I leave them all.
Having had a passion for music from a young age, Chrisean took on the moniker of Chriseanrock during the course of this series and even began singing a few songs as well. But it was her hot and cold relationship with Blueface that really got people talking. Well, to begin with, the couple's relationship was mostly kept in the dark until more recently, when Chrisean notoriously stole Blueface's Mercedes G-Wagon in an attempt to drive back to her hometown of Baltimore.
You want that jail sympathy? That's what you wanted. You wanted that jail sympathy?
No, I wanted to be away from everybody. Everybody that keep calling me, everybody that keep crying to me, but nobody want to hear my cry.
During the course of her trip, she wound up getting arrested in Oklahoma, in February of 2022 and was charged with distribution of a controlled substance and possession with intent to sell, on top of being in possession of a stolen vehicle. Her mugshot got plastered all over the internet, and it's something that Chrisean would poke fun at with the release of her Rainy Days music video. You might imagine behavior like that would have Blueface staying as far away from Chrisean as possible, but the truth is, the rapper just can't seem to quit her. I mean, we've all been there, right? You know, when a girl steals your car and you just... something about the way that she steals the car, just you can't let her go. I relate, Blueface. I've totally been there. I know exactly what you're going through. Maybe it has something to do with Chrisean being so willing to go out of her way to profess her love for Blueface by, say, I don't know, getting 5 tattoos in his honor across her entire body, including one right here on her neck, like it sometimes can look like a beard from a distance away. It's crazy. But the confusing thing is that while Chrisean is willing to do all this, Blueface is out there calling her things like unreliable to anybody that will listen.
We vibes. I mean, she's not reliable enough.
But look at him.
I mean,
But look at Blueface. I mean, half the time when this dude's talking, you can't even tell if he high, drunk, or sober. Or if he's just done fried his brain so much. He trash. His music is freaking garbage. And the shit that he says don't even make sense. The interviews that he's done, where they give him the mic to let him freestyle, and that's another thing. Y'all social media listen, it is horrible. But you got people like No Jumper and all of them who just continuously interview these two. And you never see one of them interview. You always see them both interview. Always see them both interview. Always. Because they want to see the disaster. And then they'll ask them questions like, do you think she's the hottest female rapper? And of course, Blueface is going to say no. And I think Blueface sometimes likes to treat her like trash just to see how far he can push her. And just see if he can keep her on the leash or not. It's horrible, man.
we had an agreement.
Even with him notably calling her out on social media, Chrisean isn't willing to give up on her relationship without a fight. And I do mean that literally. This girl's got hands. Despite how relatively short-lived the relationship has been, Chrisean and Blueface have endured one scandal after another. Whether it was stealing Blueface's car, getting into physical altercations with his relatives, or even getting into a fist fight with one another in the city streets like what happened at the beginning of August of 2022. Like, man, I'm just saying, if you're a girl watching this and you're trying to shoot your shot at me, if you ever fight my mom or throw a punch at my mom, that's it. I can't date you after that. I don't know. Blueface is stronger-willed. Hell no. He's got a stronger will than me. I could not handle that, bro. This altercation unfolded in the middle of a Los Angeles street and apparently stemmed from messages that Blueface found on Chrisean's phone involving other men. Maybe this is a dumb question, but why would a dude who literally just had a baby with another woman be wilding over what Chrisean is doing with other men?
That's why he ain't
That's another story for another time, but this ended up with both of them being placed under investigation by LAPD. And yet, despite all this ugliness, Chrisean would tweet out less than a week later that she intended to stick by Blueface's side no matter what, to ride or die. The only problem, the same day Chrisean tweeted out that message of support was the same day we all learned that Blueface was about to have another kid with his original baby mama. And if you've been following this video along so far, then I'm sure you can already guess how that news went down with Chrisean. Yeah, not the greatest. During a late night tweet storm only a couple days later, Chrisean would claim to be drunk and so depressed that she was contemplating ending her life. But hold on to your hold on, folks, because by the following day, suddenly everything was seemingly right again in their relationship, with Chrisean tweeting out that Blueface had finally asked her to become his official girlfriend. So after all these unbelievable highs and lows, could these two officially be an item? I mean, to be honest, it's hard to know for sure.
God,
the way that things seem to be unfolding, Chrisean could just as easily send out a tweet tomorrow unraveling the entire thing. As for Blueface, he hasn't exactly addressed it one way or another yet. And something tells me he probably never will. One thing is for damn certain though, either Chriseanrock has truly found the love of her life, or these two will still be making headlines a year from now for all the wrong reasons. I don't mean to be negative or anything, but that's kind of the way it's looking. The tooth hurts. The truth hurts. My bad. Well, we're just gonna have to wait and see how things shake out. I mean, after all, this has been before they were famous. But thank you everybody for watching and tuning in. Please take a moment to let us know what you thought about Chrisean's story in the comment section down below. And before you head out, please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to help ensure our channel gets, as much growth as possible. If you'd like to watch a few other videos in this series, then please be sure to look out for our looks into the come-ups of Emily Willis, Caitlyn, and Big Boss Vet. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video.
That is a disaster.
That's
That is a freaking disaster. We're going to follow this more. I'm going to do some more videos on this. If there's some other artists or some other relationships or whatever that I don't know about, because like I said, I don't pay attention to this shit today. I'm just now starting with it because, I sit at work and I'll be on my phone and certain things pop up and I just be interested. I'll be intrigued, man. Or if there's any industry beefs right now that I need to know about. Put it down in the comments section, man. We'll follow this even more, and we'll come back and do more of this guy's videos because, apparently he's able to run down the history of some of these artists or these people before they were famous. But anyway, with that being said, I am T. This is Let's Talk About It. I'll see y'all again soon. Deuces.